In the labyrinth of masculinity discussions, two voices stand out: Jordan Peterson and the Red Pill movement. Peterson, a renowned clinical psychologist, advocates for personal responsibility, order, and the potential within each individual. He encourages men to create order out of chaos in their lives, a message that has resonated deeply with many. On the contrary, we have the Red Pill movement, a community that reveals what they see as uncomfortable truths about male-female dynamics. They view relationships as a game of power, a battle of dominance and submission. Both these perspectives have gained significant traction and influence, particularly among men, stirring up a whirlpool of debates, discussions, and controversies. Yet, amidst these polarized views, one question remains unanswered. Who is closer to the truth about masculinity? To answer that, let's delve deep into their perspectives and unravel the complexities of this modern masculinity conundrum. Enter Jordan Peterson, the clinical psychologist who champions personal responsibility. Peterson's voice has resonated with millions, and his views on masculinity are a cornerstone of his philosophy. He believes in the inherent potential of every individual, particularly young men, and advocates for personal responsibility as the path to unlocking this potential. Peterson's perspective on masculinity is deeply rooted in practical psychology. His approach encourages men to confront their personal chaos and strive for order. He sees the world as a stage upon which the drama of order and chaos plays out, and he urges individuals to be active participants in this drama. His advice is simple: clean your room, stand up straight, and aim for what is meaningful, not what is expedient. It's a call to action that many men find deeply resonating. But Peterson doesn't stop at personal responsibility. He emphasizes the need for men to embrace their inherent potential. He believes that every man has the capacity to be a force for good in the world, if only they are willing to take on the responsibility. This message of empowerment and potential is at the heart of Peterson's views on masculinity. However, Peterson's approach has its limitations. While his message of personal responsibility is empowering, it can also be seen as an oversimplification. The complexities of modern masculinity can't be boiled down to just individual actions. Systemic issues like economic inequality and shifting societal norms play a significant role in shaping the experiences of men today. Peterson's focus on the individual can sometimes overlook these broader social factors. Peterson believes that the path to a fulfilling life lies in personal agency. By taking responsibility for one's life, confronting chaos, and striving towards order, he argues that individuals can find meaning and purpose. It's a compelling message, but it's also a challenging one. It requires individuals to confront their weaknesses, face their fears, and strive for a higher ideal. Peterson's message is empowering, yet is it enough to address the complexities of modern masculinity? The answer to that question isn't straightforward, and as we delve deeper into the contrasting perspectives of Peterson and the Red Pill movement, we'll continue to explore what it means to be a man in today's world. On the other side of the coin, we find the Red Pill movement with a starkly different narrative. The Red Pill movement, named after the iconic scene from The Matrix where Neo is offered a choice between the truth-unveiling red pill and the blissful ignorance of the blue pill, offers a rather more cynical view on gender dynamics. The Red Pill philosophy is built around the belief that society has been feminized to the detriment of men. It asserts that men are systemically disadvantaged and marginalized, and it seeks to expose what it considers to be the uncomfortable truths about male-female dynamics. This often leads to a rather combative stance, with an emphasis on men asserting dominance and control in relationships. The movement promotes the idea that men have been conditioned to suppress their natural masculine traits and urges. It encourages men to reclaim their masculinity by being assertive, dominant, and unapologetically male. The Red Pill community views relationships between men and women as a zero-sum game, with winners and losers rather than a cooperative partnership. In this worldview, men are encouraged to adopt an alpha mentality, to be the leader, the decision-maker, the one in control. This includes everything from physical fitness and appearance to emotional stoicism and financial success. It's about competing with other men, outmaneuvering women, and winning at the game of life. However, this approach can also lead to a somewhat narrow and binary view of masculinity and femininity, often reducing complex human interactions down to simplistic power dynamics. It leaves little room for individual variation, for the myriad ways in which people express their masculinity or femininity. Moreover, the red pill's confrontational stance can sometimes veer into misogyny, with some members expressing resentment and hostility towards women. This can create a toxic environment that fosters negativity and aggression, rather than fostering understanding and respect between genders. The red pill movement provides a more confrontational outlook, but does it offer a comprehensive understanding of masculinity? As we delve into these two contrasting perspectives on masculinity, it's clear that the conversation is far from over. There's still much to explore, to question, and to understand. Both Peterson and the red pill movement offer compelling narratives, but they both run the risk of oversimplification. When it comes to the issue of masculinity, both Peterson and the red pill movement throw their hats into the ring with distinct perspectives. But the problem lies in their tendency to oversimplify an issue that is inherently complex. Peterson's approach, rooted in practical psychology, emphasizes the role of personal responsibility and self-improvement. His teachings about creating order out of chaos, standing tall and pursuing what is meaningful rather than expedient, strike a chord with those who feel lost in the tumultuous sea of life. It's a message of empowerment, anchored in the belief that personal agency paves the path to a fulfilling life. However, the focus on individual responsibility, while empowering, can also be restrictive. While it's crucial for men to take the reins of their lives, Peterson's framework doesn't fully address the collective or systemic issues that also affect men today. Economic inequalities, shifting societal norms, and evolving gender roles impact men just as much as women. Telling a man to clean his room when he's grappling with deep societal challenges can feel like a drop in the ocean. It places the entire onus of change on the individual, without acknowledging the external forces that also shape behavior. On the other side of the spectrum, the red pill movement views the dynamics between men and women primarily through the lens of a power struggle. It paints relationships as a transactional game of dominance and submission. While this perspective can provide some insights into certain aspects of male-female dynamics, it risks promoting an overly combative and cynical view of relationships. It's a viewpoint that can potentially feed into the very stereotypes and power imbalances it seeks to challenge. Neither viewpoint is flawless, and both could benefit from considering the other's perspective. The complexity of masculinity cannot be reduced to a one-size-fits-all approach. Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in the middle, a place where personal responsibility meets societal awareness, where empowerment doesn't equate to dominance, and where understanding replaces combativeness. Can we find a middle ground between these two contrasting views on masculinity? This question is worth exploring, as it may lead us toward a more nuanced understanding of what it means to be a man in today's world. Let's delve into the potential areas of overlap between Jordan Peterson's philosophy and the red pill movement's stance. Both Peterson and the red pill movement emphasize the importance of self-awareness and self-determination, albeit in different ways. They both believe that men should be proactive, not passive in their lives. Peterson encourages men to take personal responsibility and to strive for order in their lives. This approach resonates with many who feel lost in the chaos of the modern world. Similarly, the red pill movement encourages men to be aware of the realities of male-female dynamics and to navigate these dynamics with assertiveness and clarity. But both perspectives, while containing valuable insights, can also oversimplify the complex issue of masculinity. Peterson's emphasis on individual responsibility, while empowering, doesn't fully address the societal factors that also shape men's lives. On the other hand, the red pill's focus on power dynamics can lead to a cynical and combative view of relationships, which is not conducive to healthy and fulfilling interactions. So, where does the middle ground lie? Perhaps it's in a more balanced understanding of masculinity that incorporates both individual responsibility and societal factors, an understanding that recognizes the importance of personal agency, but also acknowledges the impact of broader social and economic forces. An understanding that encourages men to navigate their relationships with assertiveness and respect, without resorting to cynical power games. A truly nuanced view on masculinity should empower men to take control of their lives, but also encourage them to be aware of the larger societal context in which they live. It should promote self-improvement, but also foster empathy and understanding towards others. Perhaps the key to understanding masculinity lies not in choosing one side over the other, but in finding a balance between them. By embracing this middle ground, we can move towards a healthier, more balanced understanding of what it means to be a man in today's world. What does it mean to be a man in today's society? This is not a rhetorical question, nor is it one with simple answer. It's a question that echoes in the minds of many, and it's one that has been addressed by two contrasting views. On one hand, we have the Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson, who emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility, meaning, and structure in a man's life. On the other hand, we have the Red Pill movement, this raw and unfiltered perspective that highlights the harsh realities of gender dynamics, urging men to wake up to the challenges they face in relationships and society. Both offer compelling insights. Both have their flaws. So, who has it right? Where do we find the balance? What is the real essence of masculinity in this modern age? Meet Jordan Peterson, a controversial figure with a unique perspective on masculinity. An influential clinician, scholar, and professor, Peterson has garnered a significant following with his thought-provoking views on personal responsibility and the power of individual transformation. Peterson's philosophy is rooted in the belief that each person is capable of crafting a meaningful life through a deep commitment to personal growth. He argues that the key to unlocking this potential lies in embracing responsibility and striving for self-improvement. Peterson's take on masculinity, in particular, is centered around the concept of competent men. He posits that society thrives when men are encouraged to become competent and reliable, not just for their own benefit, but for the good of their families, communities, and society at large. Peterson also addresses the challenges faced by men in today's world. He acknowledges the feelings of disorientation and frustration that many men experience as societal norms and expectations shift. However, his solution is not to lament these changes, but rather to adapt and evolve. To Peterson, the path forward for men does not lie in resentment or defensiveness, but in personal growth. His message to men is clear: strive to become the best version of yourself, take on the burdens of life willingly, and seek to create a life filled with purpose and meaning. Peterson's approach has resonated with many who feel disillusioned by the modern narratives about masculinity. His emphasis on personal responsibility and individual transformation offers a glimmer of hope for those seeking a path forward amidst the confusion. However, Peterson's focus on the individual often overlooks broader societal issues. While his philosophy is empowering on a personal level, it doesn't fully address the external forces that shape men's lives. Economic, cultural, and political factors all play a significant role in defining masculinity, and these are areas where Peterson's perspective often falls short. Peterson offers a path forward for men, but does he cover all the bases? Let's delve deeper into this question as we explore the contrasting views of the Red Pill movement in the next scene. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the Red Pill movement, a raw and unfiltered take on masculinity. The movement presents itself as an antidote, a cure to the perceived blue pill delusions about relationships and gender roles. It's a candid, often harsh critique of modern society's narrative on what it means to be a man. The Red Pill's philosophy is built around the concept of hypergamy, the idea that women are biologically and sociologically driven to trade up in relationships. It's a worldview that sees traditional gender roles as under threat, and many men within this movement feel they've been misled by modern narratives about equality and romance. The Red Pill does get some things right. It acknowledges that men face real challenges in the dating world and society at large. It recognizes that many men struggle with beliefs about masculinity that don't align with the reality of the 21st century. These men are grappling with a new social order where their roles aren't as clearly defined as they once were. But the Red Pill's approach to these challenges is where the movement often stumbles. Rather than encouraging self-improvement and genuine connection, it sometimes veers into adversarial territory. Women are reduced to opportunists, painted as manipulators who exploit men for their resources and status. This transactional view of relationships fosters a climate of distrust and defensiveness. Men are led to view women not as partners but as competitors or obstacles to be overcome. In essence, the Red Pill movement is a reaction to a changing world. It highlights the harsh realities of gender dynamics, urging men to wake up to the challenges they face in relationships and society. But it's the movement's response to these realities that is often its downfall. It confronts the harsh realities, but does it offer the right solutions? Or does it simply trade one set of problems for another? As we explore further, we'll delve into these questions and more. While both Peterson and the Red Pill address real issues, their approaches couldn't be more different. Jordan Peterson offers a beacon of hope, a constructive and optimistic message. He encourages men to focus on individual transformation, to take responsibility for their lives, to seek meaning, and to create structure. This approach can be a lifeline for men who are searching for purpose, who feel adrift in a world that's rapidly changing around them. Peterson's philosophy is one of resilience. It's about standing upright in the face of life's storms, about finding the strength within oneself to confront and overcome adversity. He asks men to focus on improving themselves, to build a life that's worth living, to become the kind of person who can shoulder life's burdens without becoming bitter or resentful. On the other hand, the Red Pill presents a harsh, unfiltered view of the world. It speaks to the frustrations and challenges men face in relationships and society, highlighting realities that are often swept under the rug. The Red Pill does not sugarcoat. It can be a bitter pill to swallow. However, the Red Pill's response to these realities can be combative and adversarial. It sometimes reduces women to opportunistic caricatures, viewing them as competitors or obstacles. This perspective can breed distrust and resentment, pushing men into a defensive posture rather than fostering healthy, respectful relationships. Peterson's approach, while empowering, can sometimes sidestep the broader societal issues that men face. His emphasis on individual transformation doesn't always acknowledge the impact of societal forces on men's lives. The Red Pill, meanwhile, while unflinchingly honest, can lead to a pessimistic, combative worldview that's more about survival than growth. Each has its strengths and weaknesses, but is there a better way? In our next segment, we'll explore a balanced approach that combines the best of both worlds, an approach that acknowledges both the individual and societal aspects of masculinity in the 21st century. Stay tuned. Perhaps the answer lies in a balanced approach, one that acknowledges both internal and external factors. We can't deny that both Jordan Peterson and the Red Pill movement have valid points. Peterson's emphasis on taking personal responsibility, finding meaning in life, and building a structured existence is a beacon for many men seeking purpose. His approach is constructive and hopeful, signifying the power of individual transformation. Yet on the other hand, the Red Pill movement's stark portrayal of gender dynamics is a wake-up call for men grappling with the harsh realities they face in relationships and society. Their view is raw and unfiltered, offering men a new lens to understand their experiences. But where does the middle ground lie? A balanced approach might look something like this, embracing Peterson's focus on self-improvement and individual responsibility, while also acknowledging the societal forces that the Red Pill emphasizes. This means recognizing that men's experiences are shaped not only by their individual actions, but also by broader economic, cultural, and political forces. We need to understand that the path to self-improvement is not just about adopting stoic attitudes or becoming more assertive. It's also about understanding how societal norms, gender roles, and economic structures can shape our experiences, attitudes, and behaviors. It's about recognizing that while we can control our actions, we can't always control the circumstances we find ourselves in. In the same vein, we need to move past the Red Pill's adversarial stance. Viewing women as competitors, or worse, as obstacles, fosters a transactional view of relationships that breeds distrust and disillusionment. Instead, we should strive for genuine connections based on mutual respect and understanding. This balanced approach is not a magic bullet. It won't solve all of men's issues overnight, but it is a step towards a more nuanced understanding of masculinity, one that empowers men to take control of their lives while also acknowledging the societal forces at play. It's not about choosing a side, but about understanding the complexities of masculinity in today's world. So who has it right about masculinity, Jordan Peterson or the Red Pill movement? It's a question that begs for an easy answer, but the truth is far more complex. Both Peterson and the Red Pill movement touch upon valid concerns about the struggles men face in today's society. Peterson offers a path forward through responsibility, meaning, and structure, while the Red Pill urges men to confront the harsh realities of shifting gender dynamics. Yet both views have their shortcomings. Peterson's approach sometimes overlooks the broader societal forces at play, while the Red Pill's adversarial rhetoric may foster more division than understanding. The key, it seems, lies in striking a balance, in acknowledging the genuine challenges men face, while promoting constructive dialogue and individual growth. Ultimately, the answer may not be as simple as choosing one over the other. Perhaps the best we can do is strive for understanding, empathy, and balance in our views of masculinity.